Hello everyone. I hope you guys had a good holiday and Happy New Year. Uh, like last year, I'll be going over the company vision for 2026 through a video. I'm currently in Reading, Pennsylvania, preparing for the cast nylon equipment move. So in front of you, you should have the APEC Engineering Company vision for 2026 and the APEC Thermal Company vision for 2026. Now, to get into it, I'd like to kind of go over what changed from last year and talk about a few things. So if you take a look at the APEC Engineering Company vision, we're going to start with that one, and then we'll go into the APEC Thermal Company vision. So for APEC Engineering, one of the big things we do every year is we take a look and we review everything as in the core values, the core focus. And this year we decided to make a change with our core values. So we decided to change our core values from respect, reputation, responsibility, and reward to build beautiful systems, ensure reliability, drive forward, and succeed together. Now, this is something we've discussed over the last few years, and we chose to make the change this year. What we wanted to do was we wanted to make these core values a bit more usable on a day-to-day sense. We wanted to make them values that we've seen APEC personnel embody throughout our time working together. So I would like to go over these a little bit and kind of explain the core values. Build beautiful systems is the first core value, and that is at the top because that's really what our focus is as a company. And the term beautiful really goes and dives into the aesthetic of equipment, the aesthetic of our service, but also the quality. So beautiful equipment and beautiful systems are high quality and they look professional. For service, what was talked about was that when we're on service, we try to leave the service, leave the equipment we worked on, even if it's not our own, looking better and at better quality than what we arrived. And this is something that we see embodied by APEC personnel all the time. A good example that was brought up was with Lorena. A lot of times when we're cleaning up enclosures on site for service, we'll say, hey, we're done, we're out of here, like it's good enough. And Lorena will stop us and say, no, like we have to clean this up. We have to make it look better than when we came here. So this is something that is a huge part of who we are as APEC and something that we wanted embodied in our core value. Next is ensure reliability. Now, every piece of equipment, every system we build, we want to make sure that that is reliable. We want to make sure that the customers can trust it and they can run their production and rely on that equipment. In addition, it adds to another term, which is that we're always there. We're always there for our customers. When they call for service, when they're in pain, when something's gone down, we answer the phone. And we will always be there for them. That is our reliability to our customers, and that's something that we live by at APEC. Next is drive forward. This is one of the core values that I personally wanted and pushed for because this is something that I talk to the engineers about on a day-to-day basis. Whenever we're going into projects, whenever we're talking about what we've done in the past week, a successful week, a successful service is that we moved forward on it. We progressed, like we are on our way to solving that problem. What we do in engineering is very difficult. We're solving and building equipment that isn't common. So we have to remind ourselves and we have to push forward and we have to constantly push forward so we can best create best practices, build high quality solutions, and keeping that in mind. What this also does is it provides a kind of a mindset for improvement. Is we may mess up on one of the projects. We may not do the best of our capabilities, but we got to push forward. We have to make note of that. We have to improve our systems and standards, and then we have to go on to the next one. We are not in the business of really looking back, and we have to constantly progress and move forward with our projects and services and move them along. Finally, we have Succeed Together. This is a huge one that we embody at APEC. We really saw it this year, and this has been a cultural thing that's been building at APEC since it was started. APEC is the employees. That is what makes up APEC. And the success of APEC is the entire team together, working together. Because when we go through projects, yeah, the engineers, they do the design, but they rely heavily on the shop for manufacturing. They rely on people being honest with each other to make sure that we're building good equipment, that we're providing good solutions, that we're completing good service. We rely heavily on each other for the success of APEC and each other. Next, what it says is we are succeeding with our customers. In our day-to-day business, there are different types of relationships. There's a win-win, win-lose, different lose-lose relationships. At APEC with our customers, it is best if we both win. And that's what we want to strive for, is those win-win relationships where we're succeeding with them and we see our customers succeed and thrive. So these are our core values. What we're trying to do in the next few weeks is come out with literature that defines them more, kind of shows what our meaning in them, what we're intending those meaning to be, but this is kind of what we live by, and it's a huge part of what APEC is, and they were created from working with you guys and seeing kind of the values you embody and what we appreciate at APEC and see applied to our projects and services. Next, to go real quickly over things that didn't change, the core focus of APEC stayed the same. Our core focus, our purpose, cause, and passion is high quality solutions. And then our niche is custom processes, machines, and services with a focus in assembly cells, heating, thawing, chemical handling and batching, coating, and converting. As a reminder, our 10-year target is APEC Engineering, a 15 million revenue goal, and APEC Divisions at a 10 million revenue goal. We are intending to have 3 employee stakeholder satellites of APEC Engineering and 3 employee stakeholder divisions of APEC in 10 years. As for marketing strategy and what makes us unique, this did not change. Please feel free to read them and let us know if you have any questions regarding these. We'd be more than happy to discuss if you'd like something to change in that specifically, but we did keep these the same. Next, we have our 3-year picture. So on here, we did keep our 3-year picture the same. Last year, we did update this 3-year picture. So the future date is December 2028. A little overview of what we did on this is we have a revenue of 7.5 million with a 20% profitability. The one thing we did change in this was we changed the terminology for the one stakeholder owned satellite division started. We changed that to employee ownership opportunities available. Throughout 2025, we had a few conversations with people regarding employee ownership. There's interest from a few people at APEC. And in 3 years, we do want to have that employee ownership opportunity available and fully in function. What that's going to take is it's going to take a lot of systems and standards to make sure that everything is very clear. The profitability is very clear. The documentation is clear, because when we offer that employee ownership, we do have to have that structure, and we have to have that available to people so it is clean, clear, and professional. So outside of that, we do have the updated goals for staffing. Those are included below with the shop and engineering. Please let us know if you have any questions regarding this for the 3-year picture. Per the statement of what we're looking at in the 3-year picture, the main focus here is really establishing ourselves as the industry leader. That picture of APEC in 3 years is a company with certificates and with standards like the ISO and the UL. We want to be an industry leader in 3 years. We want people to walk in and go, man, these are the guys that are gonna design the best equipment. These are the guys we want to go with for partnering with for our engineering needs. We want to keep the co-op program going, keep establishing and growing good engineers, attracting good tradesmen and technicians for manufacturing, and providing the best engineering products we can in the equipment and the services. So we really want to take it from, we took a big step moving into the Y and having it as our headquarters. Now we want to take that next step in the 3 years and be that true industry leader for engineering services and manufacturing. Next, we have the 1-year plan. What we did here differently from last year was we applied a theme. And we find that that theme is very important. The theme of this year is clean up, maintain, prepare for growth. We went with this because we didn't increase the revenue goals by that much. So this year's revenue goal for 2025 was 5 million. For 2026, we have a revenue goal of 5.5 million. Now, the reason for this is because, as most of you know, we hit growing pains in 2025. It took everyone working at 100% to reach our goals for APEC Engineering and APEC Thermal. Now, in 2026, we have to clean up. We have to focus on our systems and standards, our processes, defining them. And then we need to maintain the revenue that we had in 2025 with a slight increase in it. But it's going to be a lot to clean up our systems and standards while also maintaining that revenue. And finally is preparing for that growth in 2027. The jump's going to come in 2027, and it is very important that we're ready for that. And we're going to have to work very hard in 2025 to be ready for that jump. So with that, we have goals for 1 year is to increase involvement of core personnel in their specialized areas to enhance project and service organization and quality. We spoke to a lot of people during the employee reviews, and a lot of you know who you are, the core personnel in your areas. And this year, it is critical that those core personnel are pushing those improvements in organization, in quality. They're taking ownership of their area because that is going to be critical for our big jump. And we're going to be really relying on you guys to own that area and to be part of that team to definitely solidify and organize for the growth. Next, we're going to develop and finalize standardized systems for tools, materials, and preventative maintenance in manufacturing. This was a major pain point in 2025, and it is still a pain point going into 2026. This year, we're going to focus heavily on getting that established so that we know how our tools and materials are organized, and that preventative maintenance is something that is like clockwork. Every month or quarter, we have those tasks established so we can really maintain our equipment and stay reliable for the services and the equipment we provide. Next, we have to complete the engineering processes and at least 80% of the related supporting systems. So this is on me. The engineering processes are something that we have to get done, especially as we add more engineers. They need to know how to go about interacting. A big part of this is our customers shouldn't know the difference between if I'm the project manager or if one of the engineers or the project manager, they shouldn't know the difference between anybody at APEC. It should be when you have a project with APEC, when you have a service with APEC, you should expect the same quality and the same communication from all personnel at APEC. Finally, we want to enhance management consistency with leadership team by meeting quarterly goals, holding monthly leadership check-ins, and maintaining a focus on systems and standards. So we talked a lot during the employee reviews about the pendulum of APEC. We have some years that the pendulum swings to tactical tasks, and then one year it swings far to strategic tasks. Well, we have to sit here in the middle and try to maintain that in the middle, where we are continuing to improve our systems and standards while also getting and pushing through a lot of projects and completing a lot of service and meeting our revenue goals. So in 2026, we're going to focus heavily on establishing that management consistency to push and get those strategic tasks done so that pendulum can be sitting in the center. Now, to get there, to those one-year goals, we have our quarterly rocks. So the goal is March 31st, 2026. We have a revenue goal of 1.4 million and a profitability of 20%. The goal specifically here is we are looking to establish a routine 5S cleanup every Friday. And this also goes into those core personnel in your areas. We're going to need your help to implement this, because every Friday at 2:15 p.m., we're going to do a company cleanup for an hour. And during that time, with the area that you're designated, you have to identify those things that are bugging you, those things that you've been ignoring all week because you're trying to get your tactical tasks done, and cleaning those things up. We want you to bring up the things that are like, hey, we don't know where this goes, but it's driving us crazy sitting here and we got to fix it. The biggest part of this dedicated time is to say, yep, that's what I've been ignoring. Let me try to clean up that one thing this week. And once that hour's done, then we're back at it and we're working. So we're never going to get to perfection, but it gives us that dedicated time to promote improved organization and improve safety in our area through organization. Next, to add to that is we are looking to also have a dedicated, allocated half day every quarter for a deep clean of APEC engineering. So during those 4 hours, we are going to look to kind of have more time to do what I just described and really dive into the things that we've been ignoring through the quarter and kind of come back to a better point. Next, we have tool organization. We need to clearly define and document the organization of tools within the shop. This is something that has been driving people crazy, and I can also speak to myself that when I'm looking for a tool, it drives me crazy. I bring in my own tools because it's easier to find them in my box than it is sometimes APEC's tools. So in here, we're going to define the structure of where things are going to go. What is the difference between an APEC tool and personal tools? Where are those tools stored? And then the maintenance and maintained and improving efficiency and accountability. So that's something Evan's focused on in the new year to push that forward and establish that tool maintenance and definition. We then have the preventative maintenance list. This is something we started. One of the biggest segues was we added a lot of good equipment in the new year, and this preventative maintenance list and the flows we establish within our Microsoft platform is going to ensure that we can maintain that equipment so that it stays running for a long time and it consistently runs. So we are looking at implementing that preventative maintenance list in the first quarter so that those tasks can be scheduled. Next, we're going to update the 5S ownership areas. So I know you've all noticed that we have those maps throughout APEC. We're going to update them per the moving of different departments, and we're going to really focus, especially with the new sheet metal organization, equipment and different things moving around. we're going to lock in these areas, and we're going to make sure that those areas have owners assigned to them to try to maintain the organization of the areas. Finally, we're going to update the fabrication shelving labels. If you walk through fabrication, it's been a big pain point of the different sheet metal on the ground with the pallets and things, different areas. We've been putting things outside. This quarter, that labeling and organization of the shelving, we want to establish that and lock that in so that we can really avoid having the clutter that we've been having and improve on it so that we can get work done quicker. We can find the materials that we need quicker and start stepping with that material, or first step with that material organization. So this is the 1-year plan and the first quarter goals. If you have any questions regarding the APEC engineering vision, please feel free to email me, or when I'm back in the office, please feel free to talk to me or talk to Cheyenne, Evan, or Dave. This vision outlines kind of where we're going, and it's a huge way to check that we're going in the right direction. Last year alone, you saw how the 3-year picture we wrote came true. That's it. We were there by the date that we said it was. So the vision works. It's important to write down these goals, because if you don't establish the goals, you're never gonna reach them. So this year we are going to be heavily focused on building that base, cleaning up, getting our systems and standards established so that we are ready to take that next jump. And I do want people to get really excited for that next jump and work incredibly hard to create this good foundation for that next jump. And so that's what we have to remind ourselves in this year and focus on. And it's going to take everyone pushing each other and reminding each other that that's what we're doing this year. We are locking things in so that we're ready. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to create a new video for the APEC thermal, but you guys have a good, well, I'll be right back in a second.